welcome to Conversations in Public Relations. I'm Mary Fletcher Jones. David Hyson is at the camera. Today we have Amanda Miller Littlejohn from Mopwater Social PR. I wanted to talk to Amanda today about your personal brand and what you can do to really enhance that online. Amanda, welcome.
Thank you so much, Mary. It's great to be here.
Well, I don't know if there's anyone I could ask who would know more about personal branding, who's really put that into practice. Can you tell us a little bit about, what is a personal brand and why it should be important to you?
Well, to me, a personal brand is what does your audience think of when they think about you? Mm-hmm. It's funny because just the other day, a friend of mine was asking me, I'm not on Twitter, I'm not on Facebook. What are you doing on Twitter? Like, why do you use it? And I was explaining to her that I like to share information online that people are going to be looking for when they need someone like me. So I think I've done a pretty good job of associating myself with content related to PR, media, social media, and marketing. So I always encourage people to share their expertise, share what they know, share what they're interested in to help build their personal brand.
So if you were a chef, you would be sharing ideas about recipes, great
absolutely.
restaurants.
I have a new client that's a chef.
Oh, that's
so
neat.
I'm going to be helping her. I have this great idea to do some videos around her making different recipes to really show the authenticity of her cooking style, because she is an authentic Mexican cuisine expert. So just showing how to make specific dishes that aren't so very well known, sharing information online about different recipes you're working on or things you're trying out, but letting people know what you do. Sometimes I tell people you don't have to say what you had for breakfast, but for instance, I might say, when I leave here, just left the set for Conversations in Public Relations. It was fun to be a guest, and I can't wait to see the footage. So it kind of lets people know in the back of their head, oh God, I gotta look out for that. So when it comes out, can't wait to see what she said.
Well, you mentioned Twitter and video,
yes.
And then putting your personal brand together. Is it like putting together a good meal or the pieces of a puzzle? How do you know kind of where to start and who can help you do it?
Well, it all starts with the passion. I go back to passion. What are you passionate about? But then professionally, what is it that you do? I like to tell people to build their brand around the people they want to draw to them.
Okay.
So for me, I do PR, marketing, social media, and I'm in the DC area. So I like to share information and make sure people know that I'm active in DC and that I do things around PR and social media. So I think that you could start with what you do, then you move on to who you do it for, so your industry. So I might do PR, but I work with nonprofits.
I see.
I create information and share information that would be attractive to a nonprofit. And so that after you get what you do in your industry, you move on to your location. I mean, some companies are international, but I focus a lot on companies and organizations that are based in the Metro Washington, D.C. area. So I host workshops in the D.C. area for nonprofits in D.C. So, it works out that way.
Well, it's interesting. It occurred to me listening to you and all these great things that you do and the information that you share and the content that even though we call it a personal brand, which makes it sound a little bit self-involved, it's really a lot about really giving and sharing, isn't it?
It really
it's very
is.
Other-directed.
Well, the funny thing is that no one really cares about you. Like, people care about themselves. Sorry, Mary. Newsflash, no one cares about you. But what they do care about is how you can give them information that helps them.
Right.
So
remember that. Good.
However you're building your brand, you build it around what you have that is of value to others, what you can share that is of value to other people. Sure, what you like to eat or how you like to dress or what you're interested in, your music taste. Sure, people could be interested in that in some way, but if you can somehow use those interests to share your expertise to kind of get the door open to people, that helps them.
That might be kind of like a connecting piece.
Exactly.
I see.
It helps us connect.
You need to be useful to your
Exactly.
audience.
Well, people always say, well, how do I grow my Twitter followers? How do I get people to like me on Facebook? You have to be useful. Totally have to be useful. You have to share information that people need and want. And I think also that is, we mentioned the workshops that I do sometimes in Washington. Yes. I always like to think, what is it that I would like to know more about? Or what is it that people are asking me to know more about in terms of media or social media or even publicity? And I like to build the workshops around that. So it's just an extension. Exactly. Yeah. It's an extension of the online sharing information, but we're sharing it in person and, making it fun.
Well, one of the things you're best known for, most well known for perhaps, is your blog.
Oh, yes.
and as well as your workshops. And now tell me a little bit about your blog. Is that the same philosophy, providing this very useful, relevant information?
Absolutely. When I started my blog, which is Mopwater PR and Media Notes, I felt like I needed to be writing about what I did, and it was a professional move, but also a way to share information and get myself out there. When I started in PR, I knew that DC was a very competitive market, and I needed a way to differentiate myself. I've always been a very strong writer and a great content creator, so I love taking pictures, shooting video. I have thousands of pictures and videos of my kids, which I'm sure one day they're going to be like, Mom, why were you taking all this stuff? But I needed a way to differentiate myself, and I knew that was my skill, and I have a talent for connecting, so I started blogging. And honestly, Mary, I had no idea that people were going to respond to the blog the way they did, but that kind of became my calling card. I've gone to events, and people will yell across the room, "Hey, Mopwater." And they don't even know my name, but they know Mopwater.
Is that right?
So the blog is basically for those that don't.
For you.
Exactly.
Wow.
For those that don't know, I write about PR and social media trends, new tools, tips for growing your business through PR and social media. I profile PR professionals, so I get to share, the PR journey from college up until, wherever you are in your career, and that's the Test Drive My Job series.
Oh, I like that part. I like the Test Drive My Job. Yes, I know.
And then also I'll interview journalists for how to pitch. So, that's really good information. But the blog has been a really great extension of my personal brand because it has given me, as you are well aware, of great SEO. So people find me through online search.
Right.
I've gotten, speaking invitations, webinar invitations, personal branding and social media coaching clients, all from the blog.
Wow. So would you recommend to most PR professionals blog?
I would recommend not only PR professionals, but anyone with a business, anyone who wants to be found online, you should blog, because it really gives you an opportunity that your static website does not.
Right.
And gives you an opportunity to share the behind the scenes and to share what really makes your business or organization special.
Amanda, thank you so much for coming here today and telling us more about how we can build our personal brand.
Thank you, Mary. I had a great time.